morning, church. It's good to be with you. My name is Aubrea Brewer. I work with the high school ministry here. Today we are in Proverbs 8. Now, the book of Proverbs is considered to be wisdom literature. It's a book in the Bible that's lumped in with these other two books, Ecclesiastes and Job, known as wisdom literature, which essentially means that these three books of the Bible kind of give us some insight, more insight into wisdom than maybe some of the other books and the Bible does. So we are in Proverbs 8 today, and this passage is all about wisdom and talks about it very explicitly. So before we get into anything, let's just go over the definition. What is wisdom? Now, instead of giving you a definition, I am going to give you one of my favorite analogies. So here it is, the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad, right? And so knowledge and wisdom are so similar and can be used synonymously. But I really think wisdom is more than just knowledge. It encompasses knowledge and also adds a moral component. So these three books, these three wisdom literature books, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job, basically all help us walk through the same question, which is, what is the world that we're living in, and what does it mean to live well in this world? And this passage and this book of the Bible is chock full of these things, right? So just a few. His wisdom speaks what is right and true and just. So it's all about justice, cares about what is true, what is right. Basically, it also talks about wisdom is more valuable than anything we could ever earn or gain on this planet. It compares wisdom to the most precious wealth and stones on this earth, and says really you should be going after wisdom more than rubies, more than gold or silver, that you should seek wisdom above anything, any material wealth that you could ever find on this planet, that it is more valuable than anything you could ever hold in your hands or own while you're here. It dwells with prudence, and it also possesses knowledge and discretion. So those are just a few of the examples that Proverb 8 gives us about what is wisdom? What does wisdom look like? What does it mean to live well in this world if you were to have wisdom in your life, if you would be living well? Now, what is really important, I think, here that we need to touch on is that wisdom is an attribute of God, a really important attribute of God that he actually used to help him create the world. Through the whole second half of this passage, it talks about how wisdom was there from the beginning, helping God know how to create before the oceans, and as the oceans were being formed, as the horizons were being drawn out, as the stars were being put in place, that this attribute of God, wisdom, was there from the beginning in the creation story, helping God, Yahweh, like the creator of all things, know how to create the world. And in this, and we also see here that Proverbs 8 personifies wisdom as a woman, and basically what it shows is that she's roaming the earth, and she's part of our everyday life. She's always there, making herself available for those who make themselves available and who are willing to learn. Now, here's a really important piece of this, is that in Hebrew thought, your journey to becoming wise starts with the fear of the Lord. It talks about that here in Proverbs 8:13. It says, all who fear the Lord will hate evil. So the beginning of wisdom, of your journey to becoming wise, starts with the fear of the Lord. This healthy respect for God's definition of good versus evil. And true wisdom means learning those boundary lines and not crossing them, right? And it talks about that. As you live within these guidelines, it makes sense why then those who are wise prosper and find God's favor, because they are living the life that God intended his people to live. That's why it talks about those who find wisdom find life, because they are partnering with this key attribute of God, wisdom. Now, that last passage really kind of freaks me out a little bit, that those who can't find me, what does it say? Those who miss me injure themselves, and all who hate me love death. But I think a really important thing to remember is this, that anyone can interact with wisdom. God literally has given all of us access to this great wisdom, the same wisdom that helped him create the universe. We have access to now in 2022. So don't get discouraged with that last verse, because for me, I'm like, what if I miss it? I don't want to do things wrong, right? But it reminds me actually of James 1:5 that says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Friends, God desires for us to have this wisdom. It is accessible for anyone and anyone and everyone to interact with. It is available to you. He has given us full access if we humble ourselves and ask for it. So don't be afraid if you're going to miss it, right? That you'll be one of those people that it talks about at the end of this verse. Know that God has given his people, all people, full accessibility to wisdom. All you have to do is ask. Good to be with you, friends.